Searching for articles on Proquest Social Science Premium Collection. So this is what the Social Sciences Premium Collection looks like. It's got a search box that you could use just like Google or like library search, but the purpose of this video is to show the advanced search to allow you to carry out a far more specific search. So I'm going to click there where it says advanced search, and I'm going to build up a search. I want to search for how Brexit has affected immigration, and specifically female immigration. And so I want to build up those three different concepts, three different ideas. So I'm going to first of all type in Brexit, and I'm going to put in the next box immigration. So I'm combining those two ideas, both Brexit and immigration. I want to find articles that mention both of those things, but I specifically want female immigration articles. So I'm going to add an extra row here. There's another "and" there, so I'm going to add the term female. So I'm now searching for any articles that mention the term Brexit and the term immigration and the term female. So I'm going to run a search, and it'll give me a set of results. And you'll see there are 772 results there. Now you can actually do more advanced searches than this, so I'm going to modify my search and build up my search gradually. I'm going to click there where it says modify search. For example, there are different ways of saying immigration. One thing I want to start with is I want to change where it says immigration. I'm going to change it to just say immigra, and then I'm going to put a star there, and that's telling the database I want to find any word that begins with those letters, immigra. So that includes immigrant as well as immigration. So that is called a truncation symbol. Any word that ends having begun like that, it will now find. So that will find more results. But as well as that, I want to consider different ways of saying immigration. So I'm going to now type in here or migra star. So that will include migration and migrant as well as immigrant and immigration. And that "or" is telling the database I don't care which of these two terms I find. Either immigration or migration, either one is fine for me. And I could add further, or refugee, let's say, and let's put a star on the end of that one as well. So I'm telling it I don't care what I find: immigration, migration, immigrant, migrant, refugee, any of those terms I'm happy with. Now there is a drop down menu here, and you could choose "or" there. My tip on the whole is to only use "and" down the left hand side here, and then combine just within one box like we're doing here a concept, and you can write that in a number of ways. So that's why I've used "ors" there, and it will kind of deal with that concept together. Combining and "or" down the left hand side sometimes gives results you wouldn't expect. We can do the same kind of thing that we've done here with female. We could add in "or woman" or "women." We could put something like that. That will increase our set of results there. So let's run a search now. We had 700 and something results. We've now jumped up to 3,190 results. But there's more that you can do in a search like this. So I'm going to modify my search. And for a start, I definitely want the article to be about Brexit. At the moment, it is just searching for the word Brexit anywhere in the article. But I can change that. If I change that here, where it says anywhere except full text, that might seem counterintuitive, but actually it's a very useful place to search, because if it mentions the term Brexit anywhere other than in the full text. It's obviously a key mention, e.g. the abstract or the subject terms or the title of the article. Whereas if it mentions Brexit in the fourth to last paragraph in passing, that's not what the article is about. So this is often a very useful way of getting really specific results. So if I run a search there, and that's now gone down a lot, you see, but they're definitely articles about Brexit, if that makes sense. And if I modify the search, I'm going to do one final change to this search. This is relatively complicated, but I want to use a proximity search. And by the way, all these terms and connectors that I've been using are available to you here in the search tips, and they'll be explained more fully there. But I want to definitely find any of these words close to any of these words. I don't want them separated from each other by a long way in the article. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in here, but in between it I'm going to write near /10. I'm telling it that I want to find any one of those words near to any one of these words. How near? Well, I want them within 10 words. I could change that 10 to anything. I could change it to 20, to 5, to 2. I want to find those words close to those words. But to make sure that it does it accurately, I'm going to put brackets around those words to kind of bring them together as one concept. And I'm going to put brackets around those words because they are similar concept. It's one concept. So I want that one concept near to that one concept there, and that will reduce our results, but hopefully they will be more relevant and more specific results. So now we've got down to 70 results, but hopefully we're starting to get quite relevant articles. So that's some advanced searching in the Proquest Social Sciences Premium Collection. If you've run a search that you're really happy with, click here where it says Save Search Alert, and you'll get a link to the search, and you can keep that for the future.